Assalamualaikum. I hope you all are fine. Today we are starting exercise 2.4. In this exercise you will learn how we find the antilog of a number and read the antilog table correctly. So in this exercise, question number 1 is find the antilog of the following number. First part is 2.4324. So we must know first the characteristic and mantissa. So characteristic is always 2, a number before a decimal point. Characteristic equals to 2. Characteristic equals to 2 and mantissa equals to 0.4324. So we have to look in antilog table the value of 0.43 into and then adding the value of 4 column. So the value of 0.43 in second left column is 2704 and in fourth right column the value is 3, so we have to add 3 in, so we have to add 3 in 2704. So adding 2704 and 3 we get answer 4 plus 3 7 0 7 2. So the antilog of 2.4324 equals to 2707. Now we have to place the decimal according to the characteristic, that is plus 2. First locate the reference position which is after a first non-zero number, that is 2. So the reference position is after 2. So counting 2 digit to the right side we place the decimal. So counting 2 digit to the right side we count 7 as 1 and 0 as 2, 1, 2 and then place decimal after 0. So the antilog of 2.4324 equals to 270.7. So in second part we have to find antilog of 1.5890. So here characteristic is 1 and mantissa is 0.5890. So we have to look in antilog table value of 0.58 in 9 and add the 0 column value. So 0.58 in 9 in left 9 column is 3882 and there is no 0 column, so 3882 is the value. Now antilog of 1.5890 equals to 3882. Here characteristic is 1, reference position is after 3, so we count 1 to the right side and then place the decimal. So start counting from reference position. One digit is 8, so place the decimal after first 8, that is 38.82. So the final answer is 38.82. In third part we have to find the antilog of 0.2425. So here characteristic is 0 and mantissa is 0.2425. We have to look 0.24 into and add the value of 5 column in antilog table. In antilog table the value of 0.24 in second column is 1746 and adding the value of fifth column, that equals to 2. Adding the value of fifth column, that is 2. So this is the value we find in antilog table. Now The antilog of 0.2425 equals to 1740. As the reference position is after 1 and characteristic is 0, which mean that decimal point is at reference position. So we place the decimal after 1. So antilog is 1.748. In fourth part, we have to find antilog of 3.5636. So in this number, characteristic is 3 and mantissa is 0.5636. So we have to look 0.56 in 3 and add the value of 6 in antilog table. So in antilog table, the value of 0.56 in third column, value of 0.56 in third column is 3656. 3656, and looking into sixth column, value is 5. So we have to add 5 in 3656. So the antilog of 3.5636 equals to 3661, as characteristic is 3 and reference position is after 3, as 3 is, we are moving to the right side and counting the digits after reference positions 3. This is the reference position, counting digit 3 times, 1 2 3. The decimal point is moved after 3 digits, that is after 1. So antilog value is 3661. So in 5 part, we have to find the antilog of 4. As there is no decimal part, so we assume that the decimal part is 0 0 0. So here characteristic is 4 and mantissa is 0.0000. So in antilog table, we have to look 0.00 in 0 and add the value of 0 column. So in antilog table, the point of 0.00 in 0 column is 1000 and there is no 0 column, so antilog is 1000. So the antilog of 4 equals to 1000, as the characteristic 4 and the reference position is after 1. So counting digits by 4 decimal to the right side, 1 2 3. As there is no 4 digits, so we count it as 0 and place the decimal after it, which means the antilog equals to 10,000, which is the answer. In 6 part, characteristic is 0 and mantissa is 0.0038. So in antilog table, we have to look 0.00 in 3 and add the value of 8 column. So in antilog table, the value of 0.00 in third is 1007 and adding the value of 8th column, which is 2. So antilog equals to as the reference position is after 1 and characteristic is 0, which means the decimal is at reference position. So antilog is 1.009. So in 7 part, we have to find antilog of minus 1.2429. Here characteristic is minus 1. In antilog, we can write minus 1 as this. and the mantissa is 0.2429. So in anti-log table we have to look 0.24 into and add the value of 9 column. So in anti-log table the value of 0.24 into value of 0.24 into is 1746, and adding the value in 9 column, that equals to 4. We have to add 4 in 1746. So the antilog of minus 1.2429 equals to 1750, as reference position is after 1 and characteristic is minus 1, which means we have moved to the left side of reference point and counting the digit 1 to the left side, that is this. So move decimal after before 1 here. So the antilog is 0.1750. In 8 parts we have to find antilog of minus 2.9281. Here characteristic is minus 2 and mantissa is 0.9281. So we have to look in antilog table 0.92 in 8 and add the value of 1 column. So in antilog table the value of 0.92 in left column of 8.92 in left 8 column is 8472, and adding the value of right 1 column, that is 2. So the antilog of minus 2.9281 equals to 8474, as the reference position is after 8 and characteristic is minus 2, which means we have to move to the left side of the reference position and counting 2 digit and placing the decimal. So counting 2 digit from reference position, that is 1 and 2 is 0, and then place the decimal. So the antilog is 0.08474. So in 9 part we have to find antilog of minus 3.5219. So in this characteristic is minus 3 and mantissa is 0.5219. So we have to look in antilog table value of 0.52 in 1 and adding the value of right column 9. So in antilog table the value of 0.52 in left one column is 3319, and adding the value of right column 9 is 7. So the antilog of minus 3.5219 equals to 3326, as the reference position is after 3 and the characteristic is minus 3. It means we have moved to the left side counting digit 3 and place the decimal. Left side by counting digit 3, reference position 1 2 3, 1 2 3, then place the decimal. So the antilog answer is 0.003326. So in 10 part characteristic is 0 and mantissa is 0.0000. So we have to look in antilog table value of 0.00 in 0 and adding the value of 0 column. So in antilog table the value of 0.00 in 0 column is 1000 and there is no left 0 column, so the answer is 1000. So antilog equals to as characteristic is 0, so it means the decimal is at reference position, which is this. This is the final answer. In 11 part we have to find antilog of -3, as there is no decimal part of the number, so we assume that the decimal part is 0 0 0 0. So here characteristic is -3 and mantissa is 0.000, so we have to look 00 in 0. As in previous part, the value of mantissa 0.00 in 0 is 1000, so in this part the answer remains the same, and the antilog of -3 equals to 1000. As reference position is after 1 and the characteristic is -3, it means we have to move to the left side counting 3 digits from reference position, that is 1 2 3, and then place the decimal. So the final answer is 0.001. In 12 part we have to find antilog of 5.990. Here characteristic is 5 and mantissa is 0.990. So we have to look in antilog table value of 0.99 in left 9 column and at the value of right non column, which is 0. So the value of 0.99 in antilog table, value of 0.99 in left 9 column is 9977, and there is no 0 column, so the answer is 9977. So the antilog is equals to 9977, as characteristic is positive 5 and reference position is there. So counting 5 digit, we place the decimal to the right side. Counting 5 digit 1 2 3 4 5, and then place the decimal. So antilog value of 5.990 is 997700. In 13 part, antilog of 2.4900. In this number, characteristic is 2 and mantissa is 0.4900. So we have to look in antilog table value of 0.49 in 0 and add the value of 0 column. So in antilog table, the value of 0.49 in 0 is 3090. So antilog of 2.4900 is 3090, as characteristic is +2 and reference position is after 3, so we have to count 2 digit and place the decimal to the right side from reference position, that is 1 2, and the decimal is after 9. So antilog is 309.0. So in 14 part we have to find antilog of 0.49000. Here characteristic is 0 and mantissa is 0.49000, so we have to look 0.49 in 0. As in previous, we already find the value of 0.49 in 0, that is 3090. So antilog of 0.49000 equals to 3090. Here characteristic is 0, which means the decimal point is at a reference position which is after 3. So this is the answer. So in last 15 part we have to find antilog of 2.34. Here characteristic is 2, mantissa is 0.34. So we have to look in antilog table value of 0.34 in 0. So the value of 0.34 in 0 is 2188. So antilog of 2.34 equals to 2188, as reference position is after 2. So characteristic is +2, so we have to count 2 digit from reference position to the right side, that is 1 2, and then place the decimal. So the final answer is 218.8. So in that point we have completed our exercise 2.4. I hope you will understand how we can find antilog of a number. So for more videos please subscribe my channel and share with your friends.